welcome to Kat's Home Chat episode 23 with my beautiful, illustrious guest who got turned a little not feeling too well. It was not the COVID.
No, thankfully.
Thank God, right? And so welcome, Ashlynn, Houston's homegirl.
Good morning.
Realtor extraordinaire.
Good morning.
And we're going to pick up on the topics that we had posted a couple of weeks for her. And that is what you need to know if you're looking to sell or buy in 2021. And Ashlynn's going to share with us some interesting statistics and reports from Forbes and also Realtor.com. Mm-hmm. So hang tight if you're looking to buy or sell in the coming 2021. We are all praying it's going to get better. We know it's going to get better. This too shall pass.
Right.
And life goes on. Real estate is essential.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ashlynn's going to share some of those. We're going to have some dialogue on some of the things that you need to pay attention to and start working on perhaps now or early on January.
Right.
But before we start the discussion, I have an announcement. We want to thank each and every one of you out there in Cyberland and Facebook land who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, Ta-da, by Kat. We are now at over 800 subscribers.
Yes, congratulations.
Woo, I wish
that's amazing.
But I'm going to give a golden thumbs up to each and every one of you to helping us with this goal.
Yes.
We only needed 100 to get to our goal to have our own unique URL. And that's basically an address for those of you who aren't techie. And my proctor, business partner and husband, is going to post that on this. If he hasn't already, he's going to post it on this stream. We have our own URLs. I'm so excited. And I want to thank you, each and every one of you for sharing and reposting and sharing and subscribing because we wouldn't be there without you. So namaste to you. We thank you so very, very much. Okay, so let's just jump right in, Miss
Let's do it.
Homegirl, Houston homegirl.
Let's do it.
So, let's start with the statistics, and then we can just segue into some of these talking points that you and I talked about earlier on the pre-call here. Talk to us about what Forbes, let's talk about the Forbes report first. What are they projecting for 2021?
I would like to tell you that they are predicting the market to slow down, and they're not. So they're expecting 2021 to be a lot like 2020, at least in the beginning half of 2021. They're expecting sales to grow by 7%. And
wow.
And prices to rise by about 5.5% roughly. So they are expecting still a really aggressive market. But on the upside, they are also expecting more inventory, because sellers are waking up. They're saying, oh, this is the time. If I want to get the most money right now, is probably the time. And then also builders will be completing, more inventory right now. A lot of stuff is behind because welcome to 2020, right? There's a brick shortage and all types of things as far as construction is concerned, but they're expecting.
Yes, the supply chain has definitely affected. It's affected my staging business. Fortunately, we have, ample, on-trend furniture and decor, but for my design clients, it can be challenging to, ordering things. I'm sure the consumers out there have seen or experienced also, even just you from a residential side trying to order certain things. It takes a very, very long time if you can get it at all.
Even appliances, everything basically. It's like, hold on. We don't have that yet, so just wait. But in 2021, they're expecting that to ease up a little bit more. Thankfully, they're expecting some builders to be able to complete more inventory, and so that buyers can have more options. Now, what I'm realizing a lot of is with new construction, it's not as appealing to a lot of first-time home buyers just because the price points are on the rise. So a lot of people that are moving out of their first-time homes will create more inventory for those first-time home buyers, because those people that are moving out of those first-time homes that they purchase, a lot of them are moving into those new construction homes where they can take advantage of all those new upgraded fancy features, you know, just because the price point is a little bit higher on those new construction homes.
Gotcha. So resale seems to be appealing to them. So,
right.
I've got some segue questions on that, but let's move into Realtor.com. Ashlynn, what are they reporting in your investigation?
They are reporting basically the same thing. They are saying that interest rates are likely going to trend upward slowly but surely. The first half of the year, they're expecting them to remain low, kind of around where they are right now. But the second half of 2021, they're expecting it to start going up and probably end somewhere in around 3.5 at the end of the year. But that's still fairly low. So
that is, excuse me, extremely low.
Extremely, right?
My first house, 1988, 13%. Why? Because I only had 5% down. No 0%, 5%. So people who haven't been around as long as I have, these are historically low.
Historically.
So,
and that actually has a lot to do with the demand right now, because buyers are like, oh my gosh, they can afford more house with these low interest rates. You know,
yes.
They can afford more house. So it's giving people that opportunity to say, you know what, why not? I'm paying $1,400 a month in rent or $1,500 in rent.
Absolutely.
We can get the house we want for that.
Yep. They can up level. They can up level their, quality of living. Absolutely.
Right.
And buy more house, like you said, and more features of what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So what this says to me, or what the message we need to get to potential sellers, we're going to talk about this on the seller side,
right,
for a second, is more homes are going to be on the market. More people. There's been a lot of what I call pent up selling and buying. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we saw that released, several months ago. And, all my realtor partners and friends have, like you, been on the frenzy trying to write contracts and multiple offers and all that kind of stuff. But by the way, Ashlynn Homegirl always has time for her referral.
Always.
So, and she will take good care of you.
Yes, I will.
But what that means is there is more to choose from. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you have to be priced well, of course. Right. So, but there's more competition. Okay. So good price will, logic, that's good price. That's going to make them think. Emotion makes them take action.
And the emotion comes from...
Emotion is created by it looking great, it being staged great. So, of course, that ties into our services.
Absolutely.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So you want to make sure it's looking good, because they are going to be looking at so many more homes. And, I'm sure, Ashlynn, you can attest, when you're looking for your buyers, and I know you work with a lot of buyers, you're combing through the pictures online first to see which ones look the best, because you don't have time to take them to everything. And and that's not what you want to do, is drag your clients around to subpar properties.
Right.
So make sure it looks good. And then
make sure it looks good. That's really important. I'm going to tell you, I had just had a buyer. I took them to see two houses in the same subdivision, and we did not realize that the floor plans were the same. One of them was staged, the other was not. And they liked the one that was staged, because the other one they could not imagine, and I showed them the vacant one.
Yeah, it was empty, right?
Yeah, right.
Vacant.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I showed them the vacant one first.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally, when I was in new home sales, now, models, they put too much stuff. They used to. I think they're getting smarter and doing model home light, so you can actually see the home.
Right.
But I would show a client an inventory vacant home because they liked the model. We'd walk over there and they were just like, I don't like it. Like it's the same exact
Same thing.
but I don't feel it. I just can't feel it, and they can't.
The emotions.
Yeah,
the
and
emotions.
don't buy what they can't see.
Right.
So let's talk about. So that's the aesthetic side. Let's talk about what folks can do today. Again, this is for the sellers. We'll segue into the buyers.
Of course.
What are some things that, some people get overwhelmed on, oh gosh, there's just too much to do. And, they watch HDTV, which I'm sorry, has editing and a billion crews behind them and all kind of stuff. But they don't tell you, what is the best bang for your buck? Where are you going to get the return for your money?
Right.
Okay. Now, if you have an older home and it needs updating, you're always looking at your bathroom and your kitchen to give it some sort of an upgrade because, those give you the statistics show the biggest return on your investment. Okay. What are you finding? What out there in terms of repair where they, clients are maybe missing the boat and not taking care of or what they should do?
I'm going to say this because you said that people get overwhelmed. Sellers, when you are getting ready to put your house on the market, one thing that I will say is good is for you to sit down or maybe walk your house and create yourself a honey-do list, right? So let's say you walk your house and you realize that you have a broken blind over here or, a hole in the wall there. Make yourself a list so that you can, over the next 30 days or so, start checking these things off of your list so you don't feel like when it's time to put your house on the market, you're having to do everything at one time.
Good.
So,
Yep.
Start now before you make it a New Year's resolution. What I'm saying?
That is such a great tip, Ashlynn. And I think that will prevent folks from feeling overwhelmed.
For sure.
What I tell folks is you need to put your buyer's hat on.
Right.
Okay? Don't be overwhelmed. Just, make it a game with yourself. You're probably out looking for homes, possibly yourself, while you're entertaining, so that you can take that next leap of where's the next place, that I'm going to take the next step in my journey, my new home journey. So you're out looking at homes too. So play a game with yourself, put your buyer's hat on and start at the outside, look at the outside of your home, come up to the front door. Even if you go into the garage, come up to the front door because that's where Ashlynn's going to be bringing her buyers is through the front door. They're going to be looking around at what it looks like and how it's taken care of while she's fumbling with her super key, and her purse and her clipboard.
Favorite part of my job, right? Favorite part of the job.
Right? Yeah. So that they're going to be looking around. So put your buyer's hat on and actually take a tour of your own home. And, maybe you can team up with your spouse or your child or what have you, your partner, and have them take notes as you're calling them out, as you're walking through with those buyer's eyes.
Right.
And as Ashlynn said, you make a list. It might sound like a lot of stuff, but it's little knick-knack stuff.
Exactly. Most of it is small.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I'll tell you, what I'm realizing is paint makes a big difference. And that's one of the things that sellers really don't like to do. They'll make it look nice, fix the furniture, declutter, and then the walls look like the house has been lived in. Oh,
I'm so glad you brought that up because the power of paint, just neutralize.
Oh yeah.
If you're not, I'm going to give you a tip right here. Alabaster Sherwin-Williams is a good neutral that's not too cool and it'll go with both your warm fixtures, your fixed elements, as well as your cool. And there's a couple others too, but that's a nice neutral, but it'll give it light, white, and bright without being sterile. But you do want to neutralize, as Ashlynn said, a fresh coat of paint is powerful. Or you go do something, that's expensive. Paint will give you the biggest bang for your selling buck.
Really. I tell people all the time, turn off the HGTV. Okay. Just turn off. I know we love it. But just turn it off because they're going to make you want to do everything to your house. Okay. And you don't have to do all of that. It doesn't take all of that to get the most retail value, the most bang. It really doesn't. Small stuff, the paint, declutter, depersonalize the space. That's where Cat comes in.
Absolutely. And kind of a rule of thumb, I've talked about this before, is you want to reduce by at least 1/3. Most of us have, just too much stuff. We live with too much stuff. So, you got to pack up anyway.
I think we all have abundance issues.
We do. In fact, our organization division is called Freedom from Stuff. And
Need that.
I'm guilty of it, which is why I came up with that. And what a load off as I've been decluttering and, and getting rid of stuff and donating stuff. I mean, we donated everything from a piano to 25 bags of stuff to a charity. I mean, you name it. But that's what happens after 20 some years.
Right.
We look around and go, wow,
where did all this stuff come from?
Where did it all come from?
Put it back, take it back.
So if you're getting ready to move and sell your home, you can start doing that now, doing the decluttering, donating to a worthy cause, and things that are precious, pack up. If you've got a collection of an owl collection, or I don't know if still people collect Hummels or whatever it is, pack it up if you're taking it to your next place. So that you'll really just get a jump start on your move. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I offer for my sellers in our consultation is just kind of walk, because I'm not the staging expert, but I can walk through and just put my buyer goggles on, because I work with buyers every day and I know what they're looking for. So for me to be able to walk in and say, my buyers are going to walk in and say, this needs to change. Yeah. And the sellers go, never thought of that.
Right.
You got to have the right realtor on your team, because
absolutely
there are some houses that hit the market and it's like, wow, okay, great. And then you see some others and you say, their realtor is awesome. Their realtor knew what to do. Their realtor and their staging expert walked in and said, this,
yep,
and top dollar in the shortest amount of time.
Absolutely. And no offense to any realtors out there, but if you're not doing, what Ashlynn is talking about, you're really doing a disservice. And, I know there's a lot of new realtors out there, and sometimes they feel intimidated. I know, because I teach to a lot of realtors. And I mean, what's your biggest concern? Oh, to get sellers on board with staging. I'm afraid to say something because I'll offend them. Okay. And, you can do a couple of two things. Number one, what I've found, and I use this and I educate my realtor partners too, is to ask your client, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you do want to sell your home for as much money as possible in as little as time as possible, right?
Right.
Get their head shaking.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to point out some things to you that is going to help achieve that. Does that sound good to you?
Right.
Again,
that's great verbiage. That's great.
Get their head shaking. Yeah. Okay. Don't just go in and go, okay, that's got to go. Oh, that's horrible.
Right.
People would hate that, because that comes off as insulting. Of course it does.
It's always about the delivery.
It's always about the delivery. So, and if you're not comfortable doing that, that's when my realtor partners bring me in. And I literally have them say, Kat, I told her to do that and she rolled her eyes at me. So sometimes, maybe not Ashlynn, but sometimes, oftentimes they're going to listen to, a master stager, professional stager, as opposed to, they think, oh, you're just a realtor. What do you know about staging? You have no credentials. So it depends on what relationship you have with your, with your potential seller, et cetera. But, bringing in a stager can definitely help you do the good cop, bad cop. And the bottom line, it's not trickery, guys. It's to get everybody what they want. Your seller wants to sell for top dollar for as much money as possible. You want to have that happen too and get your commission. They want their equity out of the home. It's just a total,
and the buyers want a beautiful home.
Yeah, exactly. And you're helping potential buyers, fall in love, and see themselves living there. And, staging is a transfer of emotion, which is why we say the three C's. Color, which Ashley talked about. Get rid of those red walls, neutralize, power of paint.
Right.
Clutter is the second C. You want to declutter. people don't want to see the stuff or buy the stuff.
No, they don't.
And along with that is to depersonalize. And why is that? Again, for the transfer of emotion. We don't want them looking, going, oh, I wonder if I know her.
Right.
Hey, didn't she cut me off at HEB?
I want to tell you that has never happened before, and it has happened. Oh, I didn't know this was such and such house. Okay, let's get out of here.
I say that.
Let's get out of here.
It has happened. And what, even if they don't have a bad experience and they know the person, what is happening? They are paying attention to the stuff.
Right. Instead
They're
of the house.
looking at the beautiful crown molding
Right.
and the gorgeous arches and the lovely new floor. They're not looking at that. They're being distracted. So, and the third C is clean.
Clean.
And I'm going to let you talk to that as well. You know, it kind of transfers over to the declutter, et cetera. But clean, and I'm talking Q-tip clean, you know, is what it needs to be. You know, when I was in new home sales, I used to, if I knew the realtor was showing new homes and resale homes, I had a cute little tongue-in-cheek, you know, well, no toenails in the carpet on my new home here. And I know that's kind of graphic, but the reality of it is clean comes into play there. It's not that a resale home, we want to make sure it's clean. So they don't have any visions of toiletries out and towels that have been used and, you know, dog stuff out. You know, again, they need to envision themselves in your space. And what is your opinion on that as far as the clean? What have you found out there, Ashlynn?
Clean the house, y'all. Just clean it up, okay? Clean it up.
Like it is. This girl tells it like it is. She's gonna
clean the house. Let me tell y'all, I had this happen maybe 2 weeks ago. I was showing a buyer a house in Humble. We literally walked in the door and walked right out because the house was not clean. We didn't even look at the house.
Wow.
Because the buyer was like, no. Because if it doesn't look clean, automatically the buyer says, okay, what else is wrong with the house? Because if you are not taking care of what's on the outside, what we can see with our eyes, we know you're not taking care of what's on the inside.
Absolutely. It's an overt and covert, somewhat subliminal. And we talk about that being at the front door. If you've got, you know, all kind of things going on the porch and it looks dirty and there's plants dead, the subliminal subconscious is, wow, they probably never changed the filters in the house.
Right.
Took care of the AC. And I wonder what else is of ill repair if the exterior cosmetic is not taken care of.
Exactly. I think human nature, we overthink everything naturally. So we automatically go to the worst possible scenario in our head.
Yeah, unfortunately. And you know what? If you don't have time to clean, you know, Ashlynn's got, you know, referrals.
Hire us. Okay.
Pay your teenage daughter, hire someone to clean it. Same with power washing. You know, that's a, you know, relatively inexpensive, but big bang for your buck.
Right.
You know, especially here in Houston, we get a lot of that stuff from the pollen and, you know, kind of sooty looking on the house, on the driveway. I know we just had ours, and my granddaughter, who's only 9, was like, Glamma, it's so
Glamma. That is so you.
Glamma, it's so sparkly. She says the drive. We have a really long driveway. I'm like, well, thank you for noticing, sweetie. And that's a 9-year-old noticing.
Oh, yeah. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. And you know what? People don't notice it until you do it.
Until you do it. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. You just get, but they will notice the difference.
Right.
Something I say all the time is that did you know that your listing or your home is in a competition?
Right.
You know, sometimes we get realtors who've been around for a long time go, oh, I've never staged, or I've never had to do this or to do that. Well, you know, again, right now when the market's hopping, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've had requests for quotes and then they've sold it before we've done it. And that's great. Power to them. It was priced right. There wasn't as much competition in their price range or type of home or what have you.
Right.
But, you know, the bottom line is your home is in a competition.
It really is.
And they're going to compare against, others similar, even in today's robust market.
Definitely. They definitely will. That's all it boils down to. When a buyer is going out to see 3 or 4 houses today, they're going to pick their favorite house. They're not going to say, I want all 4 of them. That's rare. I mean, you have some investors that might go there, but it's rare. So your house is in competition with the other 3 houses that the buyer is seeing today. And what about your house is going to make this buyer walk in and say, this is my house? Yeah. And as a realtor, when I represent my buyers, I tell all of my buyers, you're going to know your house when you walk into your house. You're going to fall in love right away. And it's not going to be like, I think I like this house. No, you're going to know right away.
No. Because you'll see their eyes light up.
Right. You'll feel it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
See their eyes light up. Absolutely.
I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of this job. I'll be like, yes, we're putting an offer in on this one. This is the one for you.
Yes.
I love that.
So what are you finding? Are we still seeing, and I don't know what exact price range you work in, but are you still seeing a lot of multiple offer situations here in Houston?
Yes. And they're not slowing down. The inventory is still pretty low. Right now is the usual slow season for real estate. So usually inventory is low around this time, but right now it's like, can we just get 2 more houses, please? Anybody else want to sell a house today? That's what it's like.
And what price range are you seeing that in?
Really all the way up to about the high 200s. And I'm hearing, because I'm not in that price range at this very moment, I'm hearing from other realtors that even in the higher price ranges, those multiple offer situations are still happening. Not as often, clearly, as in the lower price range, because the competition is higher in the lower price ranges.
Right.
Still multiple offers.
Yeah, I have a realtor partner that, is in the higher end, and I don't know if it's slowed down, but a few months ago, she was seeing it in the 600. Buyers would have to up the ante 50,000.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's bananas, but it's really inventory. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. Yep. And buyers want the houses. They want the houses, and they want those interest rates.
Yes. So
they're like, what do we need to do?
Yep. So let's close on the last bullet point, Ashlynn, on what can folks do, right now to prepare themselves. We talked about getting their home prepared. What about positioning themselves, and what do they need to have in hand, on paper, in hand, et cetera, before they contact a realtor or decide, okay, I'm ready to do my home search, because they're going to need to move pretty quick when they do. Right.
So I'm going to say, before you start your journey, you want to get a couple of things. Set yourself a deadline. Maybe when your lease is up, if you don't have a lease, maybe you want to buy a home by your birthday. Give yourself a deadline, because if not, you're going to be about to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house this year for the next 3 years. So give yourself a deadline. Say, okay.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yes, so many people you see, they don't give themselves a deadline, and they're like professional lookers.
Right.
That's a great one.
That's not a job, y'all. So give yourself a deadline.
Something is not a job. Okay?
No, it is not.
Nobody's going to be paying you for that. And please don't have your realtor schlepping you out just to look.
I beg of thee, please.
I beg of. She begs of me. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. You can look online. Don't ever go online. She don't get paid to unlock homes.
It's fun. I really do enjoy looking at homes, but y'all, I'm telling you, give yourself a deadline, because you're going to tire of looking at homes. A lot of buyers, they say, I love looking at houses. I can never get tired of looking at houses. But trust me, you will. Okay, this is my job, and I genuinely love.
And also, I just have to make a little note, especially first-time home buyers. A buyer's agent, when they're representing you as the buyer, they get paid zero until you close on a home. So gas, time, energy, all of that, they're not getting paid anything, I think the beauty is you can be professionally represented and it doesn't cost you anything, unlike the seller, that comes out of their equity to have someone professionally market and sell their home. But as a buyer's agent, people, zip, they get paid zip until you close on a home. So what about credit? What about credit? They need to know what they want, right? Okay, don't be just a professional home looker, but they need to, again, I would say sit down and list their must-haves. I know that can change. I've literally seen that change with clients. They didn't realize they needed 2 ovens until they got home with 2 ovens, and now it was a must-have. Or they said they absolutely had to have a pool, and then they fell in love with a home without a pool.
Right.
Why? Right. Again, emotion. Buyers take action on emotion. But you need to, as Ashley says, start with a list. If you like for me, it would be a deal breaker to have a power pole in the back of my yard.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
For others, it would not be an issue. Put your must-haves, at least, you wouldn't dream of going someplace you've never been before without your GPS, right?
Right.
So put your GPS together, right? Know what they want. Anything you want to add to that before we move to credit, Ashley?
Write it down. I'm going to say, write it down. That's with everything in life. If you want it, write it down.
Absolutely.
Make it happen, but write it down. And then when you come back to it in 3 weeks, see what needs to change about it so that when you get ready, you already know what you're looking for. Yes. You already know when you want it to happen.
Yes.
So we just
review that list. I like that you point that out, Ashley, because like you said, in life, whether it's your goals or what you need to do or your priorities, your goals for next year, write it down. There's been a ton of studies that say, that you will have something like 85% more success. People have 85% more success. That's huge when they write it down, when they take it from here, just kind of floating around with thousands of other thoughts, and actually put it to paper and then review it. And don't be afraid to change it.
Right.
Even with Ashley as your agent, you might say, well, I thought I wanted 2 ovens, but you know what? I don't think that's critical. That would be nice. It's not a must-have.
Right.
So don't be afraid to change it. We're dynamic, human beings in this human experience, and we are entitled to change our needs, our wants, our likes, our desires. So, but putting it on paper, Ashley, that's awesome. I really encourage y'all to, whether you're first or second time home buyers or multiple home buyers, to do that, to help organize you and help your realtor help you as well.
Yes.
I remember years ago back in Southern California, because before I had my real estate license, and I told, we told this realtor what we didn't want, what we wanted. I didn't want a certain kind of roof that they have in California, shake roof, I think. And she kept showing us, and I was like, we were like, okay, I'm over this agent. She is not listening and wasting my time to take me out to home with the shake. Do you think I'm going to change my mind over that? That was a must not have.
Right.
So do put it on paper.
Yeah.
A good agent such as Ashley will listen to you and help maximize your time to find your dream home. That's what it's all about, or to sell your dream home as well. So let's move right in, as we're getting close to about 35 minutes here. Let's move into credit. What should buyers, now not sellers, but buyers, be armed with, and what kind of action should they take, and when should they take it? Let's say they want to buy a home, mid-January. They want to put a contract on mid-January or 15th. Yeah, I guess that's mid-15th.
Right.
What should they do today?
So first, you want to make sure that your credit is where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So the lenders, at the beginning of the year, the criteria changed a little bit, but most of them are back to 620 minimum credit score. We have some that can go a little bit lower, but shoot for the 620, 640 if you can. Okay. And if you aren't there, figure out what you need to do to get there. Credit Karma is not accurate, but it can tell you what's on your credit report so that you know what to remove.
We talked about Credit Karma on one of our shows because actually one of my team members is using it. because we need to help her get a home. And right now her credit's not, or I think it's her partner's credit is not where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not accurate, but it's free and it will tell you what you need to do.
Right.
One of the things I recommend is get one of these free reports, get your report. Again, you got to know where you're at if you want to get to where you want to go.
Right.
You got to know where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So you can dispute anything you see that's on your credit report. You can dispute it.
Mm-hmm.
Dispute everything.
Right.
Even if it's old, especially if it's old. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they may not have the records. They may be archived, and they have only 30 days once a case is open. If they cannot come up with proof that you owe that 10-year-old whatever, guess what? It comes off your credit report.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And with the disputes, you guys have to be careful with that, because when you start the home buying process, you cannot have any disputes on your credit report, right? So that means
I did not know that.
They don't want those disputes on there. They don't want anything being disputed at the time of your application. So you need to make sure that you are. Keep
that in mind, and you've got a 30-day window. So if you don't want to, start the process till February or whatever, start your dispute now.
Right now. Now is the time anyway. Right now, now is always the time. Don't put it off to tomorrow, because today is the day to start.
Today is the day. If not, you'll be looking in the rear view window going, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And now the interest rates are up to this, and now I can't find the home that I want. So yes, now is the time.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashley, for that. So 620, I heard 640. That it went up a little to 640 for FHA.
It just depends on it's gonna depend on the lender, really, because it differs from lender to lender. Most of my lenders have gone to 620, back to the 620 for down payment assistance, for all of that. So you
now,
give me
how do you get down payment assistance?
Give me a 620. And make sure you don't have a whole lot of outstanding debt. We can get you qualified.
For down payment assistance. What are the criteria for down payment assistance?
A 620 credit score and your debt to income. It's going to depend on where your credit is. TSHAC specifically has some guidelines right now that if your credit score is at a certain point, your debt to income ratio has to be a little bit lower.
Okay, so they look at a whole formula.
Yes, it's a formula for sure. But get 620 is the minimum credit score for the down payment assistance program. So get to the 620, and then we can figure everything else out.
And who is that funded by? Is that FHA?
Yes, FHA. And it's the program is TSHAC. There are several down payment assistance, but we usually use the TSHAC one, and their interest rates are published online and all that good stuff.
Okay, and how do you spell it?
TSAHC.
TSAHC.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can just Google it. It's an acronym. It's like
it stands for something.
Affordable housing or something like that.
Yeah.
It's that, but the money is there, you guys. So
so did you guys hear that? And I know Crystal, we'll talk about that too as you're working on your credit score, that there's down payment assistance through FHA. It's TS like Sam, AHC through, it's an FHA program, but you got to get your score up to at least 620. That's the minimum. You can do that through Credit Karma or any other free app to see where you're at. Find out what you have on there, any derogatories, any collections, etc. If you do, you want to start working on those now, because it's a 30-day window they have to prove it or disprove it. And if it's old, if you got old stuff out there, I say do it. I'm going to tell you, I personally took my credit score. This is embarrassing, but it was like 480. We've
all started there, right?
We had tax liens from Southern California, et cetera. And I personally myself brought it up to over 700 by disputing, writing letters to all three of the agencies and having stuff fall off. So you can do that. There's also companies out there that can help speed up that process, and they have something called Rapid Rescore. So depending on your situation and how quickly you need to move. But if you are doing it yourself, again, give yourself a 30-day window, because as Ashley mentioned, you cannot have any disputes active while you're trying to be qualified.
There's a group on Facebook if you want to improve your credit too. And I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's Credit Warriors, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
On Facebook, there is a group for that.
Well,
There's
thank
a
you
group
for
for
sharing.
everything on
Yeah,
Facebook.
thanks for sharing that,
Absolutely.
guys. So Credit Warriors,
and that's for self-help
in your Facebook to help you get your score up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no better time to buy a home now with historical low interest rates, lots of inventory, and wonderful agents such as Ashley to help you. Guys, Jeff has posted our URL, which is basically youtube.com/C for channel /Tada by Cat. It's in this stream. Click on it. If you're not a subscriber, we would love to have you. This episode, as all of our episodes, will be posted on our YouTube channel. So you want to subscribe and smash the bell. You'll get a friendly reminder when new content, which every week new content is put on there. We're going to be adding additional content on our launch of Cat's Eye Decor, with custom wall art, etc. So lots of new stuff coming for 2021. And we will have all of Ashley's information on the YouTube channel when Jeff takes this and massages it within 48 hours and puts it up on YouTube. So thank you so much, Ashlynn, for joining me. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, yes. You can still kind of hear it in my voice, especially when I wake up in the morning. It just sounds real nasally. My voice is super deep. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, and I think yours was allergy related, which I think a lot of people, not everybody's getting COVID.
Right.
Prayers for people who have, but there are allergy, especially in Houston here. We all suffer from it. I'll get like a little garbly, which is why my husband makes me tea, which I'm forgetting to drink so that I don't lose my voice. You can hear mine a little bit garbly. We wish you all a happy holiday. A safe holiday. We will not be back until the 8th, I believe it is, unless you all want to see us on New Year's Day, which you probably don't. I will be coming to you with we're calling them weekly tips because Tuesday doesn't always work out.
Right.
So we will have a weekly tip, a little 5-minute short weekly tip on any topic that really just comes to my brain. Usually 10 minutes before I do it. If you know of anyone who you think would be a great guest on our show, please share this with them, message me, etc. We do have a lot of realtors because they have so much knowledge and information to share. And you know what? Information is power, right? Power.
Definitely.
Information is power.
Definitely.
We hope that you're not
naughty.
and you're on the nice list.
No promises there. No promises there.
No. Naughty is the new nice, right?
Right.
But if you know anybody who would like to be a guest, they can be a staging professional in another part of the country or world. We've had Patrizia, hi, honey, hi, Tanya, just now looking down, who comes all the way from Rome. So, Europe is fine, any country, and really any business having to do with a home, selling, buying, decorating, anything to do with home. We've had Lori Gaza on here with essential oils, and of course we all know. Smelling is part of olfactory is part of the buying experience as well. All of our senses, right? So if you know anyone, we are looking to get booked up for the first quarter. We've got a couple guests lined up, but we would love to entertain new and exciting guests who would like to be on our show. Am I missing anything, Jeffrey? I think that's it. So stay hopeful, stay positive, stay connected. And we're so glad that you connected with Ashlynn and us today. And please share this, give us a thumbs up, even if it's after, which it will be more than likely after the recording. It helps us stay connected to you and know that you're listening and watching and that you care, because we care about you, each and every one of you. And if we can help you in any way, reach out. Again, I'm Tada by Cat. Next Level Staging and Design in the Houston area. And Ashlynn, what's a good number for folks to reach you if they don't want to wait for the recording?
You can always call or text me at 713-261-2891, or you can find me on Instagram at Houston's Homegirl.
I love it. At Houston's Homegirl.
Yes.
And my number is 281-798-3750. Instagram at Tada by Kat. And again, happy holidays and wishing you all much love. And till next time.
Till next time.
Bye, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Kat.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Bye, y'all.
Stay safe.